What we want to do is, I'm sure there's some burning questions from today. I cannot think of a better panel of experts. So if we can have your questions, there's 2 mics. So please wait until you're given the microphone, and then we'll pass you over to our panel of experts. So who has a first question? Gentleman there.
Hi guys. Basically my question, is based around third-party accessories for the Nokia Lumia. And, you know, I was wondering if, for example, if Nokia and Microsoft already circulate the software around for it to be tested with, like say, Parrot accessories, and, you know, anything along that lines, because historically we've had issues where new bits of kit have come out and they're not future-proof for Parrots, for example. So I was wondering if there's been any form of circulation to date.
It's a good question, Dean.
Very good question. Very good question. My understanding at the moment is we've done a fair bit of testing between the platform, the device, and also third-party stuff as well. No doubt all of that will be published on the website. So it's probably good just to get a handle of that information on the website. But if you've got something particularly specific, it's probably worth going to a couple of sources, one of which is Forum Nokia, and another one is to get hold of one of us internally. We'll then find out exactly what's gone on, and then we can feed back to you if it's a specific question. But certainly one of the best places to go would be Forum Nokia.
Okay. Have any other questions?
Hi, I just wanted to ask a question about the cloud, and I think it is still kind of a very uncertain thing for a lot of business. I'm still not sure, as a small business owner, is the cloud for everyone, or is it for larger businesses? Because I've got quite a small business and I'm not quite sure of the scalability in terms of getting involved with cloud technology.
Who's going to fight to answer that one?
I'll
Graham.
take that one. Simple answer to that is no. I think at the moment the cloud is not for everyone. Will it grow and become more prevalent in the marketplace? Yes. One of the challenges for the industry at the moment is that many small businesses have systems which run on their own hardware at the moment, and the software vendors that produce this software are not ready for the cloud. So even if you move your email, your files, your collaboration to a cloud platform, you still need to retain the server for these particular software applications. And in our experience, the software vendors are quite a way behind the technology, and it's going to be a number of years before they get to a point where their products are ready for the cloud. It will come. It is, you know, it does have its savings and its benefits, but at the moment it's not for everyone, and you will have to just each company will have to look at it individually and see what the benefits and the cost savings are, and whether it can be done. And you just have to take each case individually.
Can I add something to that? So clearly you'd expect my answer to be somewhat different. And my contention would be that the answer is yes, it is for everybody, but it's a qualified yes. And I think that the point that was made earlier on today by James about what he referred to as hybrid, what I'd call coexistence, is actually the starting point. So very few businesses actually want, or indeed is it desirable for them to transform, to have a revolution in their overall platform. So we will say over a period of time, this coexistence taking place as you figure out a roadmap that allows you to take certain applications to the cloud. And it may be that your email platform is the easiest place to get started. It may be there are other areas, so it will depend entirely on the requirements of each business. What you will find, however, is that if you look at a lot of the legacy applications that exist, probably a lot of people in the room have got legacy applications sitting on old SQL databases or Access databases. You can take those to the cloud, you can redevelop and recreate those, make them far more scalable, far more flexible. You can do that very quickly and very cost effectively, and that may be a good place to get started from. So it depends entirely on the landscape that you have, what your goals and objectives are. But broad terms, the qualified answer I'd say is absolutely it is. Just figure out where to start.
A question really for Nokia and Microsoft. BlackBerry have a big part of the enterprise market, and a couple of A couple of key pieces is obviously data compression and security. How are you guys looking to compete in that market with those two parts?
Compression and security. Okay, compression, certainly from what I've lived and breathed on the Phone 7 platform, an average user would probably use around 50 or 60 megs a month. The other piece around compression is that certainly, let's just take web applications. On our Series 40 platform, we have acquired a company called, what are they called?
That unforgettable company.
Yes, that's it. We've acquired a company that essentially looks after data compression. So, for example, on some of our Series 40 platforms, the Nokia browser has been rolled out to those platforms, and you can download it also from the Nokia store. But there is up to 90% compression available on those devices. So, for example, so I'll put it into a money term. So, for example, if you go to the Sky Sports web page, or you go to the BBC News web page, it may cost you £1 to get to that website on devices that don't have this compression available. It is available now on the Series 40 platform, and that will, going to the same website, that will only cost you 10 pence. To then go to the point of security, this is where I'd probably ask my esteemed colleague, James, to perhaps put one or two comments on security. I know certainly from that perspective, you've got things like remote device wipe and lock and all that stuff. And if somebody was then clever enough to take out the storage unit inside this device, it won't work. You have to have both the storage unit and the hardware together, and also the PIN code to get through to it, to then get that data. But James, I don't know if you want to comment on security.
So just to also cover on the compression, and particularly the sort of data that most people use, so email, calendars, contacts, that sort of stuff. One of the most widely used technologies, Active Sync technology, which is part of Windows Phone, is also licensed by other key mobile players. You know, they see the value in the work we've done to optimize the bandwidth that people use on a day-to-day basis. So we're okay there. There's more work to be done. Microsoft is taking an unusual approach of actually embracing more standards in what they're doing. So, you know, looking at the standards that are coming out there to see what we can actually bring to mobile device for compression. When it comes to security, we've done a lot of work around obviously the communication channels that are open, making sure that those are secure, and also security on the device. We're also working with other partners to improve that security story so it becomes more relevant for key verticals that have got more demanding requirements as well. So there's quite a lot that we're doing there, and if you've got specific opportunities that you need us to, you know, work with our partners to help satisfy a particular need, then we're definitely open to have that conversation. Okay.
Hello, my question is going to be about the leadership. I'm just wondering, is it can be taught, or is it in our blood? So, do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Can leadership be learned?
Yeah, that, or
yes.
Is it only in the personal blood? So
yes, it can be. Simple answer is leadership can be learned. You hear a lot about the fact that leaders are born and not created, and I would say that in everybody there's innate qualities that make you more able or better to lead people. But there is no reason why people can't improve upon those qualities. There is no reason why people can't grow qualities. There's no reason why we can't affect and influence behaviour that makes people lead in a more effective way.
A question for David at Australia. The question is what guarantees can you place on data storage and access to that data in the cloud?
Are you thinking of any particular aspect of data storage? What, accessibility or data residency, the domain that it's resident in? What's driving your question?
The question is you visited a company in London and they had an open window and somebody could have nipped in and stolen everything. By placing my data with your company, what guarantees is that it will be there when I want to access it?
So, it depends on the platform. The specific answer to that depends entirely on the platform that you happen to put your data on. If you take the general answer, though, is that most of them, certainly the multi-tenanted platforms, use an abstraction through metadata which means that nobody in their operations center can actually see your data. Your data is held in an encrypted form, and even their database administrators can't see it. Generally, the shared data centers, the cloud data centers, carry massive redundancy, so failover between pods, between servers, failover on networks, and so on and so forth. So access to the data and its security, 7 levels of backup, automatic failover between 2 data centers, and so on and so forth. As I said earlier on, as a result of hundreds of millions of dollars in investment, and certainly much more than probably any organization individually is ever likely to put into that kind of security.
James, I'd like you to also answer the question from a data availability standpoint, because when you look at the 365 model, it's a really key component of the offering around the guarantees that Microsoft give you about the ability to get to your own data. And I think James can speak to that better than anybody else here.
Yeah, so Microsoft, clearly, we've got a reputation to maintain as regards customers' data. The comments that were made around the millions that were spent on these data centers is no exaggeration. We publish a lot of information about the security processes that we put in place, the independent certifications that we get, the external inspectors that come and validate that all our security processes and so on are there. When it comes to the data, then the immediacy of taking an Office 365 solutions means that your data is stored in our Dublin data centre and is also failed over to the Netherlands. So we actually provide geo-redundancy as a matter of default by consuming a cloud-based service. And for some of our smaller organisations, the chance of actually having geo-redundancy is not something that's going to happen anytime soon for a lot of our customers with on-premise infrastructure. So you actually get increased data availability and increased resilience by actually embracing some of the cloud technologies. There's still obviously the considerations of your local connection, but certainly as regards your back-end servers, your back-end services, they're met with very high standards. We also were one of the first cloud providers to financially back SLAs around the availability of your data. And we don't just mean, oh, if you couldn't get access to the data for a day, then we'll just give you another day at the end of the year. That will satisfy you. We'll actually give you the money back, right? And I mean this to be edited later from the video, is that, as you may appreciate, Microsoft is not known for giving money away. So we're very keen to make sure data is always available there.
Thank you.